Silence. That's what you hear when you look at your phone and realize no new messages, no invitations to go out. The laughter that used to fill your Friday nights? Now just distant memories. And that unsettling question begins to creep into your mind. Why am I feeling so alone? If you're going through this, take a deep breath. What I'm about to share with you in the next few minutes will completely change your perspective on this moment in your life. This loneliness you feel? It's not a punishment. It's not because you did something wrong. In fact, it's a sign, a powerful sign that you've embarked on a transformative journey, spiritual awakening. I know, it might seem strange to connect your sudden lack of social life with something as profound as spirituality. But the truth is, when we begin to awaken to our true essence, the world around us seems to shift. And that includes our relationships. That feeling of no longer belonging in the same places. The sense that conversations that once excited you now feel empty. Looking at your social circle and wondering, is there something wrong with me? There is nothing wrong with you. In fact, you're exactly where you need to be. Today we're going to dive deep into an aspect of spiritual awakening that few have the courage to talk about. The loneliness that comes with it. We'll explore why some friendships dissolve, why you're feeling different, and most importantly, we'll uncover how this apparent isolation is actually a gift from the universe. Get ready. What you're about to discover won't just explain what's happening. It will give you the tools to navigate this phase with grace and understanding. This isn't just a conversation about loneliness, it's about rebirth. The nature of spiritual awakening. So, what exactly is this spiritual awakening I mentioned? Imagine that your life up until now has been like watching a movie. You're so immersed in the story that you forget you're in a theater. Spiritual awakening? It's like someone turning on the lights. Suddenly you realize, wait a second, this is just a movie. There's so much more beyond this screen. Simply put, spiritual awakening is when you begin to question the reality you've always accepted as absolute truth. It's when you start to feel that there's something deeper, something more meaningful beyond the daily cycle of work, eat, sleep, repeat. But how do you know if you're going through this? Well, there are some common signs. 1. You start questioning the purpose of your life. 2. Suddenly, material things don't seem as important. 3. You feel a deeper connection with nature. 4. There's an intense desire to understand who you really are. 5. And yes, you may begin to feel disconnected from the people around you. That last point is crucial, because when you start to wake up, it's like tuning into a different frequency, and not everyone is on the same station. Think of it as a software update. Your internal operating system is changing, expanding, and naturally not all apps, or in this case relationships, are compatible with this new version of you. That's why spiritual awakening often triggers significant shifts in our relationships. You start seeing the world through new eyes, and not everyone around you sees the same thing. Some friendships may start to feel superficial. Conversations that once excited you might now seem empty, and activities that used to be the highlight of your week, well, they might start to feel meaningless. But here's the key. This doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you or with your friends. It's simply a reflection of your personal evolution. Imagine you've spent your whole life eating only fast food. Then one day you experience a gourmet meal, rich in complex flavors and nourishing ingredients. Naturally, the burger you once loved may no longer seem as appealing. In the same way, as you awaken spiritually, your emotional and intellectual taste buds change. You crave deeper connections, more meaningful conversations, and experiences that nourish your soul. It's important to emphasize, spiritual awakening isn't about becoming better than others. It's about aligning more deeply with your true essence. And sometimes, that alignment means certain relationships no longer fit into the puzzle of your life. But don't worry. Just like in nature, where autumn comes before spring, this phase of loss is only the prelude to a new season of growth and blooming in your life. The process of social detachment. Have you ever observed how a river flows? It does not fight against the rocks. It simply moves around them, finding its natural path. The process of social detachment during spiritual awakening is very similar to this. It is not about struggling or forcing, it is about flowing with the changes happening within you. Remember when we talked about the shift in frequency? Let's explore that a little further. Imagine that each person has a unique vibration, like a musical note. When you go through a spiritual awakening, it is as if your note is changing its tone. Suddenly, you are no longer in harmony with some of the melodies around you. This shift in vibrational frequency is not something mystical or abstract. It is a real transformation in how you perceive the world, how you react to it, and what you value. It is as if your eyes have opened to a new dimension of reality, and not everyone around you can see what you see now. This is where energetic incompatibility comes in. Think of your relationships like magnets. Before, you naturally attracted each other. Now, with your energy shifting, some of those magnets start to repel. It is not because one magnet is better than the other, they simply no longer align as they once did. This phenomenon of natural distancing can manifest in several ways. 1. Conversations that once flowed easily now feel forced. 2. You may feel drained after spending time with certain people. 3. Shared interests begin to diverge. 4. There is a growing sense that you are no longer understood. It is important to note that this process does not happen overnight. It is gradual, sometimes so subtle that you only realize it when you look back and see how much has changed. Many people, when experiencing this, feel guilt. Am I abandoning my friends? Am I a bad person for not wanting to be in these environments anymore? Let me be clear, you are not a bad person. You are evolving, and sometimes evolution requires leaving certain things behind. Think of a butterfly. When it is in the cocoon, undergoing metamorphosis, it cannot bring along its old caterpillar friendships. Not because caterpillars are bad, but because the butterfly is transforming into something completely different. This process of detachment, though it may be painful, is incredibly important. It creates space in your life. Space for new connections, new experiences, and a new understanding of yourself. But here's a crucial point. Detachment does not mean total rejection. Some relationships may transform instead of ending completely. Perhaps that close friend becomes an acquaintance with whom you occasionally exchange messages. Or maybe that group of friends you used to go out with every weekend now turns into an annual reunion filled with meaning. The key is not to force it. Do not try to fit where you no longer belong, but also do not burn bridges unnecessarily. Allow relationships to evolve naturally, even if that means some will drift apart. Remember, just as the river finds its way through the rocks, you will find yours. This process of social detachment is not about loss. It is about creating space for the new. It is about aligning your external life with who you are becoming internally. Why do we lose friends? Why am I losing so many friends? This question echoes in the minds of many going through spiritual awakening. It feels as if, suddenly, you're speaking a language no one else understands. But don't be mistaken. It's not that you changed languages. It's that your perspective has expanded. Let's unravel this mystery layer by layer. First, we need to talk about different levels of consciousness. Imagine consciousness as a staircase. We are all on different steps, and that's perfectly normal. Spiritual awakening is like climbing several steps at once. Suddenly, you're seeing the world from a completely new point of view. From this new vantage point, conversations that once seemed deep may now feel superficial. Concerns that used to consume your thoughts now seem trivial. It's as if you've put on a new pair of glasses and can now see details that previously went unnoticed. This brings us to the second point: diverging interests. When your consciousness expands, your priorities naturally shift. Maybe before, you found it exciting to talk about the latest celebrity gossip or the new trending series. Now you crave discussions about the meaning of life, spirituality, or how to make the world a better place. There's nothing wrong with your past interests. They simply no longer resonate with who you're becoming. It's like discovering a new ice cream flavor you love, and now your old favorite doesn't seem as appealing anymore. The third aspect is something I call the mirror of past relationships. Our friendships often reflect who we were when we formed them. When we go through deep transformation, looking at these friendships can feel like looking into a mirror of the past. This can be uncomfortable, not because there's anything wrong with your friends, but because it highlights how much you've changed. It's like returning to your old school after years. The desks that once seemed huge now look small. It's not that the school shrank, it's that you grew. Now, let's talk about something crucial: patterns that no longer serve you. Many of our friendships are built on shared behavioral patterns. Maybe it was the habit of going out drinking every weekend or gossiping about coworkers. When you awaken spiritually, many of these patterns start to feel empty or even harmful. Letting go of these patterns may mean distancing yourself from people who still hold on to them, not because they are less evolved, but simply because you're now on different paths. It's important to note that losing friends during this process doesn't mean these people are bad or that the friendships were never real. Every relationship has its purpose. Some are meant to last a lifetime, while others are important yet temporary chapters in our journey. Think of friendships like plants. Some are perennials, enduring through all seasons. Others are annuals, blooming intensely for a time, and then completing their cycle. Both are beautiful and important in their own time. Another factor to consider is fear. Sometimes people distance themselves not because you've changed for the worse, but because your transformation confronts them with their own insecurities or fear of change. Seeing you embrace a new way of living can be challenging for those who aren't ready to question their own reality. Finally, it's crucial to understand that this process of loss is, in fact, a form of gain. You are gaining clarity, authenticity, and alignment with your true self. It's like cleaning out your closet. Sometimes, we need to let go of old clothes to make space for new ones that better fit who we've become. Solitude as a teacher. Solitude. A word that often carries a negative weight in our society. But what if I told you that this solitude you are experiencing is not a punishment, but rather a gift? A gift wrapped in a challenging package, it's true, but a gift nonetheless. Let's shift our perspective for a moment. Imagine solitude not as a void to be filled, but as a sacred space for self-discovery. It's as if the universe has created a cocoon around you, giving you the time and space necessary for your transformation. What is the purpose of this isolation? First, it forces you to confront yourself. Without the constant distractions of superficial social interactions, you finally have the chance to listen to your inner voice, the one that is often drowned out by the noise of the outside world. It is in this silence that the deepest questions begin to arise. Who am I really? Logically, what is my purpose in this life? What truly matters to me? These are not easy questions, which is why many people spend their entire lives avoiding them, filling every moment with noise and activity. But you are facing these questions head-on, and that, my friend, is an act of courage. This period of solitude is like a forced spiritual retreat. It is a time for introspection, reflection, and yes, sometimes discomfort. Because growth is rarely comfortable. It is like stretching a muscle. There is tension, sometimes even pain. But it is this tension that leads to strength. During this time, you may discover parts of yourself that have been hidden for years, talents that have been neglected, dreams that have been forgotten, wounds that need healing. It is a process of rediscovery and reconnection with your most authentic self. And here is a powerful truth. It is in this space of solitude that you have the opportunity to reconnect with your higher self. That part of you that is connected to something greater, whether you call it the universe, God, cosmic consciousness, or any other name that resonates with you. This reconnection is essential. It's like tuning a radio, adjusting the frequency until you find the clearest signal. And the clearer that signal becomes, the more aligned you become with your true purpose and essence. But like any great teacher, solitude is not always gentle. There will be moments when you long for companionship, when the silence feels deafening. It is in those moments that the true inner work takes place. That is when you learn to be your own best friend, your own advisor, your own source of comfort. Remember, this phase does not last forever. It is a passage, a corridor leading to a more authentic and aligned version of yourself. And when you emerge on the other side, it will be with a deeper understanding of who you are and what you want from life. Navigating through transition. So, you're in the middle of this spiritual awakening journey. You understand what's happening, yet sometimes it still feels difficult to deal with everything in your daily life, doesn't it? Don't worry, you're not alone in this feeling. Let's explore some practical tools to help you navigate these sometimes turbulent waters. First, let's talk about dealing with the loss of friends. It's natural to feel an emptiness, a sense of grief. Allow yourself to feel these emotions. Suppressing them will only delay the healing process. A helpful practice is writing letters of gratitude, even if you never send them, to the friendships that have drifted away. Thank them for the role they played in your life and release them with love. Now, here are some practical tools for this period. 1. Daily meditation. Start with just 5 minutes a day. This will help you connect with your inner self and calm your mind. 2. Journaling. Write down your thoughts, feelings, and insights. This not only helps process emotions, but also tracks your growth. 3. Find an online community. There are many groups of people going through the same process. Connect, share experiences. 4. Explore new passions. Have you always wanted to learn to paint or play an instrument? Now is the perfect time. 5. Practice self-care. Take care of your body as much as your mind. Exercise, healthy eating, and proper sleep are crucial. 6. Transformative reading. Look for books on personal growth and spirituality that resonate with you. 7. Therapy or coaching. A professional can offer valuable guidance during this transition. Remember, acceptance is key in this process. Accept where you are right now without judgment or forcing things. It's like learning to surf. You can't control the waves, but you can learn to ride them with grace. Sometimes you may feel lost or confused. In those moments, turn to your breath. Take a deep breath and remember, this phase is temporary. You are evolving, transforming. As you practice these tools, you'll start to notice subtle changes. Loneliness can transform into solitude, a state of peace and contentment with yourself. Losses begin to feel less painful and more like a necessary cleansing. And then, almost without realizing it, you'll start attracting new connections, experiences, and opportunities that are more aligned with who you are becoming. It's as if the universe is responding to your new frequency. We have reached the end of our journey together, but remember, for you, this is just the beginning. Spiritual awakening is not a destination, it is a continuous journey. And what comes after this phase of transition? Well, this is where things get truly exciting. Imagine yourself emerging from a cocoon, your wings still damp but ready to take flight. As you align more deeply with your true essence, something magical begins to happen. You start attracting people, experiences, and opportunities that resonate with who you truly are. It's as if the universe is responding to your new vibration. New friendships will arise, deeper and more authentic than you have ever experienced. These connections will be based on shared values, on a mutual understanding of the spiritual path. You may discover a new passion or life purpose that was previously hidden. Perhaps you will feel called to help others on their spiritual journey or to create something beautiful that expresses your newfound understanding of the world. Most importantly, you will feel more at peace with yourself. That constant restlessness, that feeling that something was missing, it will be replaced by a deep sense of contentment and purpose. Remember, the path will not always be easy. There will be challenges, moments of doubt. But now, you have the tools to navigate them with grace and wisdom. So, the next time you feel alone, remember, it's not loneliness, it's solitude. It's not isolation, it's incubation. You are not losing, you are transforming. And when things seem difficult, remember the words of the poet Rumi. The wound is the place where the light enters you. Your journey of spiritual awakening is that light, illuminating not only your life but potentially the world around you. Are you ready for this new beginning? The universe is waiting for you. Fly high, shine brightly, and always remember, you are never truly alone on this journey.